This program is brought to you by Bobway Media, a work of the Chipman Road Church of Christ in Lee's Summit, Missouri, and under the oversight of the elders of the Chipman Road Church of Christ. We thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me today here on Studies in Christian Evidences. This podcast is designed for elementary age children. Thank you for listening. Our memory verse for this week is still Genesis chapter 1, verse 31. Then God saw everything that he had made, and indeed it was very good. Thank you for joining me today as we look at the wondrous woodpeckers. Have you ever had a head injury? Perhaps you bumped heads with someone and developed a knot on your forehead. Though the human body is perfectly designed for God's purposes in creating it, God did not create humans in the same way that he designed woodpeckers. If a human were to strike a tree with the force and regularity that a woodpecker knocks against it, he would soon die. Woodpeckers, however, keep on keeping on. Incredibly, woodpeckers can strike a hard surface 20 times per second and several thousand times a day without ever getting hurt. How forceful are woodpecker strikes? Well, according to researchers, they are equivalent to 1,000 times the force of gravity, or more than 250 times the force to which an astronaut is subjected in a rocket during liftoff. So powerful are woodpecker strikes that some scientists believe that they close their eyes in between each peck not to keep chips of wood from getting in their eyes, but to keep their eyeballs from popping out of their sockets as they strike the tree with such tremendous force. How can woodpeckers survive such a headbanging? How do their craniums not crack and brains burst? First, woodpeckers have very strong, extra-thick skulls, which can take a pounding without cracking. Second, and perhaps more important, woodpeckers have special shock absorbers that are better than anything man has ever made, better than the best car bumper, and better than any shock-absorbing helmet. In the perfect place, right in between the bird's beak and skull, God created the perfect sponge-like tissue to absorb the perpetual pounding that this bird puts itself through on a daily basis. Once woodpeckers carve a hole into a tree, how do they get to the insects that may still be 4 or 5 inches away? If their tongues were short like most birds, much of the pecking woodpeckers do would be rather useless because they would not be able to reach the insects. But God knew what woodpeckers needed. He gave them elongated tongues which they can roll up and store deep in their skulls when not extended. Some woodpeckers have tongues that are 5 inches long, or 3 times the length of their beaks. What's more, their tongues are specifically designed with rear-facing barbs and a sticky substance that help draw insects out of the tree and back to the woodpeckers. The fact is, the idea that this wondrous woodpecker could evolve is absurd. This amazing bird did not have to knock itself silly for millions of years in hopes of one day getting everything it needed to do what it does. On day 5 of creation, Genesis 1:20-23, Almighty God specifically designed a woodpecker with a strong bill, a thick skull, and a long tongue, and the best shock absorber in the world. Thank you for listening today to Christian Evidences. We hope you have enjoyed today's program. You can find out more about Bobway Media by visiting our website at bobwaymedia.org, as well as finding us on social media. And as always, to God be the glory.